everyone. This is episode 2 of my knitting podcast. Yay! So it's been a few weeks since I filmed the first episode, and a lot of crazy stuff has happened since then. I have quite a few projects for me, quite a few projects to share with you today that I've either finished or works in progress. A little bit about my personal life and what's been kind of going on throughout these few weeks since we have last spoke. This is kind of like, I'm using this as my own personal little diary, I guess, just kind of to document my knitting and my knitting journey and just my life and what's been going on. So last Thursday I was going to film and upload, but my brother had his wedding. Yay! So he is now married. I was the ring bearer in the wedding, mostly because I was the youngest person there. But yeah, it was a Pokemon themed wedding. It was really fun, really cool. So I've been just kind of really busy with that lately. And then also, as far as school goes, we're preparing to go on our week-long fall break. So there's been tons and tons of projects, and with the wedding and everything, I had to be gone from classes for a couple of days because of the wedding. So yeah, I had to catch up on a few assignments and notes and things like that, but we're all caught up now. We're all good to go. So yeah, without any further ado, I think that's all I have. Oh, I am still looking for more test knitters. There will be a link in the description to the Google document where you can fill out the form, the Google form, sorry, not Google document, the Google form where you can fill it out, give me your information. I'm not sharing it with anyone, so don't worry about that. It's just for me to add you to my own personal email list so that I can contact you first when I have new designs ready to be tested. And it is preferred that you do have a Ravelry, because I do have a ton of testers already, but they don't have Ravelry, so it's hard to link my patterns to their projects because they don't really post anywhere. They're friends and family. So yeah, okay, so that link will be in the description along with everything I talk about today. So we'll start off with what I'm wearing here. I've had this finished for quite some time. This is my Sweet Like Honey cardigan. My own original design. It's available on Ravelry if you're interested. It is a DK weight yarn. I'll get a little bit close so you can see this really pretty texture that is along the whole cardigan. It's worked mostly in panels, like most of my cardigans are, in panels that are then seamed together. The sleeves, I believe, yeah, I had to check. The sleeves were knit in the round and then seamed on after. So yeah, there's no waist shaping. It's cropped. It's really easy to just add extra length if you desire. The yarn is DK weight. It is the Soft and Sleek DK by Yarn Bee. I'm blanking on the exact color. It should be in the pattern and on the pattern page on Ravelry if you're curious. Yes, and then these buttons, I think they're a la mode buttons, just like your standard Joann Fabrics brand. You can see they're really nice wooden buttons here. You can't really tell if you can see that very well. But yes, so that is the Sweet Like Honey cardigan. Yay. Okay, so now works in progress. will be later. I'm gonna start with my FOs, or my finished objects. And I have 3 finished objects since the last time we spoke. I think you only saw one of them. So I'll start with that one. So this is an entire sweater that I finished since the last time we spoke. So this is the Simpleton Sweater. This is my own design. It's not yet released. I will be looking for testers soon. I just have to get some pictures of this first. So if you're interested, make sure you fill out that Google form. So it's a simple top down in the round raglan sweater. It does have, I'm showing you the back of it. It does have just a little bit of short row shaping, as you can see in the back here. That happens right after this top ribbing. Stockinette in the round, super easy, super fun. Yeah, I just thought it would be really nice to have this staple in my pattern collection. So, okay, so I started this on, sorry, I'm looking at my iPad and all my notes. I started this on September 15th, and then I finished it on September 24th, so just a few days ago. I finished it. It took me 9 days total to knit. Sorry, the AC just kicked on, so if you hear that noise, I'm so sorry. I used US size 8 needles for the stockinettes throughout the body and the sleeves, and then the ribbing is in a US size 6, which is 4 millimeters. US size 8 is 5 millimeters. And then the yarn I used was Lion Brand Heartland yarn in the color Badlands. Yeah, it took a lot less yarn than I thought it would. I'm gonna set this down because it's kind of awkward for me to hold. It took a lot less yarn than I expected, because I think it took about 2.5 skeins of the Heartland yarn, and I knit size 2, which is a 36-inch bust. I don't know what that is in centimeters. I apologize for my American naivete. But yeah, it only took 2.5 skeins, and I purchased 4. So I have quite a bit of leftover yarn that I'm hopefully gonna use for, I'm thinking just some beanies, something simple that I can donate or give to friends, wear myself, all that stuff. Maybe I'll have them for kind of, I expect I can get, sorry, I'm all over the place. I expect I could get probably 2 or 3 hats out of it, out of 1.5 skeins, probably 2 hats, which is great. 1 for myself, 1 for someone else. But yeah, so back to the Simpleton Sweater. It's a full length, which I typically don't knit. I've been knitting a little bit more full length sweaters lately. Usually I do cropped things like this because I genuinely like the style and it can get done faster. So I'm definitely much more of a product knitter than a process knitter. So the cropped things are really short, sweet, simple, all that stuff. But yeah, and those usually don't take much yarn either, especially since they're cropped. But this, I don't know if maybe because it's a worsted weight yarn and I'm not too used to working with worsted weight yarn for sweaters, that I kind of misjudged how much yarn it would actually take. That's one challenge that I've found in designing, is not knowing exactly how much yarn I should be purchasing to make sure that it's like enough but not too much. But yeah, so that's the Simpleton Sweater. The next thing I have, it's 2 finished objects, but they're of the same design. It's again one of my own designs, and I'm calling, it's a hat, I'm calling this the Winter Love hat. As you can see, this is my first ever color work design. I'm so excited. but look at how nice that turned out. I'm trying not to boast, but I really love how it turned out. With the little hearts and these little like snowflake star type of things, sparkle type of things. So I made 2 of these. Mostly because, if you can see with my first one, it's a little bit too big. So sorry about that. I got a notification on my phone. So it's a little too big. I knit what was supposed to be the adult's like medium, but it ended up being very large. So I don't know what happened. I did gauge swatch in the round, so I'm not sure if like with the more stitches and more repeats, if it got a little bit altered and a little bit bigger of a gauge. But yeah, the second one fits a lot more like I wanted it to. So if I turn to the side, you can kind of see how it fits. Just a little bit of extra room in the back there. It's really washing out with my terrible lighting. But yes, so let me talk about these 2 hats for a second. So this first one, the bigger one, I started on August 11th and I finished it 2 days later on August. It's September. So I started it on September 11th, finished it 2 days later on September 13th. For the ribbing here, I used a size US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter needle. And then for the color work and the crown, I used a US size 6, which is 4 millimeters. Those needles are the same for this hat too. The second one I made. And so the yarn I used, pretty cheap, budget-friendly yarn, acrylic yarn, which I know is not everyone's cup of tea, but it fits my budget for now. So that's what we're sticking with. So it's in Bernat Softy Baby. The main color is in their color white, and then this pinky color that is soft peach. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. Maybe I'll find someone with a really big head that can wear it. So yes, and then the second one that I made, I really hate how it's washing out. You can't really see all the details, but that's okay. So I started it the same day I finished the bigger one. So I started it on September 13th and finished it the next day on September 14th. Again, same needles, same yarn. The only thing that changed between the 2 was my overall math. Let me take this off so I can show you. If you can see on this one how much of the color work chart I ended up doing compared to this one. You can see there's that whole other section on this one that made it way too long. But yeah, so I decreased the number of rounds for the body of the hat and as well decreased the stitches around the circumference. But yeah, so this will also be coming out for testing in just a little while once I get pictures of them. I'm having problems with taking pictures of this hat specifically because, you know, it's not snowing out, and so I feel like taking pictures of the winter love hat in fall weather is not ideal, and I'd rather have like a snowy background. So I don't know if I'm gonna take those pics indoors or what I'm gonna do. But yeah, maybe this will be delayed for a while just so I can wait for the weather to be in my favor. But yes, so those were all 3 of my finished objects since the last time we've spoken. So 2 hats, 1 sweater. Now we're gonna get into, well, I do have half object here. So I talked to you guys last time about how I was working on a second pair of my Just Your Ordinary socks, which is my vanilla sock pattern. And I finished the first sock of the pair. I think it turned out with this yarn slightly bigger than I wanted it to, but they'll be nice just at home socks, I think. So I finished that, started those on August 20th, actually August this time, and those have been kind of slow going just because I have been focusing more on like the hats and the sweaters and things, because I'm getting that cooler weather kick. So I'm really excited to be knitting things that I'll be able to wear like tomorrow or like in a week when it starts to cool down, because it's fall. But yeah, so I really only work on the socks when I'm either like in class, when I pay attention to class, I promise, but I kind of get a little fidgety, so sometimes I'll pull out my knitting and it'll help me stay grounded and keep focused. I have excuse me. I have generalized anxiety disorder, so I can get really anxious, and it just really helps keep me grounded and focused, especially in classes. But yeah, so I started the second sock of the pair, and I'm in the middle of a round, so of course it's hard to show you. I just have the ribbing done and maybe like one round of the body, or the body of the leg of the sock. And then I'm knitting those on US size 1 needles, which are 2.25 millimeter needles, if I remember correctly. And in Premier Yarns Serenity sock weight in the color Violas, or Violas, I don't really know. But yes, so those are going pretty slow, but good nonetheless. And then the last work in progress I have to show you is another sweater. Yes, okay. So this is what I'm gonna call my candy apple sweater. Let me see which side's okay. So here she is right now. She's really bunched on the needles, so she looks kind of smaller than she's supposed to, but I'm using Happy Place Hobie yarn. This is the two-tone, the melange type, and it's in the color candy, no it's not, it's in the color Red Delicious. This is the candy apple sweater. So the yarn did come in the mail, and it was a lot brighter than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit more muted. I don't know why I thought that with a name like Red Delicious, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be a nice sweater regardless. I'm just not sure of the color for my skin tone. I don't know. I'll wear it anyways. But yes, so it is a top down in the round raglan with short row shaping in the back here, and the yoke is in bamboo stitch, so it's another pretty simple sweater. I started it on September 24th, and I've made some pretty good progress on it. Hopefully I'll have it done soon-ish, hopefully by the next time that we talk. But yes, I'm loving, okay, so TL Yarn Crafts, I'm sure everyone watching this, if there is anyone watching this, knows who she is. Tony Lipsy. She is an amazing designer, crocheter mostly, and I love watching her YouTube videos and everything, even though I'm not really a crocheter that much. But she came out with this yarn as a collaboration with Hobie, or hobby, however you pronounce it. And it is 50% cotton, 50% merino, not merino, 50% cotton, 50% wool, and it is amazing. I love it so much. But yes, so see her channel for more details on it, or the website. Again, links will be in the description of the video and everything. But yeah, so I'm loving that. I did just place an order with Joann Fabrics to get some Lion Brand Woolies yarn because I want to knit. Lion Brand came out with a pattern quite a while ago for the Folklore cardigan. I am a Swiftie. I love Taylor Swift. So I'm not as hardcore of a Swiftie as some people, but I do really enjoy her music, her just everything, her whole vibe, especially Folklore. Love that album. Folklore and Evermore, those two albums really speak to me, and like I love the vibes of them, kind of like the dark academia type of vibes, in my personal opinion. But yes, so I ordered some woolies in the color Fisherman and in the color Black so that I can use their free pattern, love that it's free, to knit that cardigan. And I want to have it done hopefully by October 13th, because on October 13th I'm going with a friend to see the Eras Tour, like the movie, at our local movie theater, and I want to wear that cardigan so bad. I just, it would make me so happy if I could wear that. But hopefully the yarn will come early next week, hopefully. Today's Wednesday, so I'm hoping it doesn't take more than a week. And next week is my fall break, so I'll have plenty of time to work on it as long as I get the yarn. But yeah, cross our fingers, cross our toes, cross everything. But yeah, so that is all my works in progress, my finished objects, and what I plan on working on coming up once I get that yarn. But yes, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You're not a real YouTuber unless you say that. So yeah, all the links, everything you need to know about me, my projects, patterns, everything, links in the description. And I'll see you next time. Bye.